Angry here. And today I want to talk with you the lie of being alone. It's a lie that's fed to millennials on a regular basis. I like to call it the millennial lie. And being alone sucks. Now, you might say, well, angry, what are you talking about? Let me jump into this very clearly for you. I want you to take it from someone who knows how to be alone and who spent countless amounts of time alone. It's important to know how to be okay being by yourself. But one of the biggest problems that arise for us as millennials and people in general, and a lot of older people experience this, is they can't bring themselves to be around others. Okay? I'm being honest with you. it is it becomes extremely easier to be alone because there's all this peace, right? And the thing is that human beings, we are social creatures. I want you guys to hear me out on this very carefully. Do you realize people do some of the craziest things because they spend too much time alone and they get stuck in their own heads and they cannot hear any other voices other than their own, all right? Sometimes it just takes someone else's voice to snap someone out of their heads. I'm being honest with you. And I keep seeing this millennial lie going around, the millennial lie of it's okay to be alone. Don't worry about relationships. First, focus on learning how to be by yourself, and then everything else will fall into place. Let me tell you something very quickly. That is a big lie. It is a terrible lie. And it is a lie that was fed to millennials, and it is a lie that millennials continue to repeat for themselves. All right? If someone wants a relationship, they have to go out there and actually get it. If you want friends, you have to go out there and make friends. All right? This notion that things just fall into your lap is it's horrible. Things don't just fall into your lap. All right? It's like saying, let me put it this way. Oh, some people are just luckier than others. That's a complete lie. That is a total lie. You know what luck is? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Okay? You want to make friends? You meet someone new. Hey, you seem pretty cool. We should go and hang out sometime. All right? Grab their number. Or hey, do you want to go grab a bite real quick? I'm telling you, that's how friendships are born. Okay? But if you think that you're just going to make friends or find a boyfriend or girlfriend or things are just going to fall into place for you, it's terrible. It is terrible. Okay? It is a big lie. Millennials today are too complacent, they are too obedient, and they're too willing to just accept things as they are. Okay, well, we'll just do as we're told and everything's going to be okay. Do you understand that throughout history, the family has been the foundation of society? Okay? The family unit is the foundation of a person's life. The family unit, okay? God is all. The family unit is very, very important. And we're looking at this reality where most millennials now won't have any families. And you look at the boomers, or you look at the generation before the boomers, many of these people are miserable that they don't have families. They're all alone. They spend decades alone. Decades alone. It's okay to learn how to be alone. Let me tell you guys something. All right? I want you to understand this very, very carefully. Everyone needs their alone time. Well, sometimes there are people like extroverts who just they need to be around people all the time. The point I'm making is though, for a lot of people, it becomes too easy to be alone. And the irony in all of this is that you will find yourself alone for a lot of time. All right. And the same people who tell you this jargon about it's okay to be alone and what you need to learn how to be alone first, they're not talking to you. They're talking for themselves. They're talking for themselves. I am telling you that right now. I mean, if you look at the Bible, okay, and I know some of you are like, there's a lot of contradictions in there, but just look at the Bible in and of itself. God created two of every kind of animals. He created male and female, so they all have partners. And I'm not going into the whole jargon of why you should get a girlfriend or get a boyfriend. Just hear me out, all right? Then he even created Eve because he said it would not. It's not good for man to be alone. The point I'm trying to make is that human beings are social creatures, and this very notion that it's good for us to spend all our time together, I mean all our time alone, is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, and I think that it's having a terrible impact on a lot of us as millennials. It's not good, it's not healthy. I mean, we're so social media has divided us so much. It has pushed us away from each other so much today that it's ridiculous. All right. It absolutely is. And this notion that we're more connected than we were ever before, it's not true. Okay. We're more separated than we were ever before. All right. You talk to someone on social media. Oh, I don't like him. Or even in real life. Oh, I don't like him anymore. I'm going to block him on Instagram. Okay. So now they get the message. You don't want to be their friend anymore. It's too easy. All right. And let me make another point to you. Most of these online relationships aren't real. You know what's real? Having a real conversation with a person that's sitting across from you. All right. It was bad enough when telephones replaced, it was bad enough when telephones started to replace having a conversation with a person in person. But now texting and DMing, that's completely it sucked the life out of everything. All right? It really has. And interestingly, and I mean it's getting worse to the point where people don't even write full messages anymore. They don't even write messages. They tap a button and it gives like an auto response, or they use an emoji. All right. And the means of how we are communicating continues to get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay. We've gone from reducing the way we communicate to to the written word in and of itself. Okay. How we communicate. Soon we won't even speak to each other, look at each other, or be close to each other. We'll just be distant from each other. And it's a terrible thing. And it's having serious mental implications on millennials and all of society. And I wanted to talk about that. I want you to know if you guys agree with me that the millennial lie of being alone, it's okay to be alone, and learn how to spend all your time alone. And I think it's jargon. I think it's absolute nonsense. It's one thing to be okay with being alone. It's another thing to spend all your time alone and think that that's how life is supposed to go. Okay? Because it's not. It really is not. It's not healthy for anyone. I mean, look at solitary confinement. You put in jail. It's one of the most cruel. It's a form of cruel and unusual punishment. It really is. And people who go into that, they end up losing their minds. All right? And then imagine that many of us, we isolate ourselves, or we become isolated from the rest of the world. And then we're being told, oh, this is the way to do things. That's how you become mentally ill. I'm just being honest with you. That is one of the ways that you become mentally ill, when you become actively stuck in isolation. I'm not talking about learning how to spend time by yourself in nature and doing things on your own and enjoying a nice meal. I'm talking about spending every waking moment alone and basically rationalizing that this is the way things are supposed to be, because they're not. All right? I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I really don't care. Let me know what you think in the comments. Love God, get money, and cheers.